Alistair here ran the Bills of Ibrox after a clash against Dundee United. 4-2, 4 goals. Probably sounds a lot better than it actually was. Talked about a game of two halves, certainly. The first 30 minutes, goal just before half time, brought it back to 2-1. But was it a game that could have been won in the first half?
The first half hour was very disjointed. You could tell, you could sense there was a nervousness. An early goal would have been ideal in terms of settling things down, but our play was very, as I say, disjointed. Passing was quite erratic. We didn't really offer much of a threat to the Dundee United goalkeeper. And then we get the goal after half an hour. Again, another poor corner kick. I think our set piece delivery today was on the whole very, very poor. But Asgard fires in, poor corner kick, doesn't beat the first man, but recovers, good shot. Jim Goodwin has said he's disappointed with his goalkeeper, that he doesn't obviously get enough on it, but terrific finish from the Dairy, the type of poacher's finish you're looking for from your centre forward, and he was excellent today for the first 45 minutes. And I think a lot of people were surprised not to see him come out for the second half. The manager's obviously confirmed that he's picked up an injury, but to have got the second goal as well through Sterling just before half time, that would have given a level of comfort going into the interval. We've been very sloppy with the concession in the second goal. As United break, there's an opportunity for Chukwani to commit a foul, which is probably going to end in a yellow card, but I think as a supporter we would rather a player picked up a yellow card than go and concede the goal. Even after that, as the Dundee United player Fatty, I think it is, proceeds into the box, John Suter shows him inside, and there's probably an argument that Jack Butland should do a bit better as well. So yeah, frustrating to get in at half time at 2-1, but I think the first 15-20 minutes of the second half were excellent.
The second goal, there was a bit of a question mark against Chukwani in the build up to that as well, but he was man of the match and received a round cheer of applause from the crowd. It was a bit of a mixed bag for him today.
Yeah, I think on the whole he's been very good since he's come in January, but I don't know if it's that European mentality where you don't want to commit that foul, you don't want to do the dirty stuff, but he's very composed in the ball. I think alongside Raskin in that too. I think we started off 4-2-3-1 today, but alongside Raskin he is very effective. He breaks up the play, he does that stuff very, very well. But I think he needs to learn fairly quickly that if a team breaks in this country, then perhaps committing that wee foul just to halt that progress is something that would be more desirable than letting the play progress.
You mentioned Raskin there wasn't in the scorers today, but a player that I really liked, but I thought he was a bit quiet today.
Yeah, not his best game, but again, when he was called upon to do what he had to do, he did it and did it effectively, but not perhaps as influential as breaking the lines as what he normally does, going from that 6 to that 8 role, and certainly not as prominent in an attacking sense as he has been, but fortunately there were others in the team who were able to step up today, and we managed to get 4 goals, and there's probably an argument. You see the chances that Yusuf Chamiti passes up second half to Sam's had a couple of opportunities as well, where on another day that's maybe a 6 or a 7.
In terms of our defence today, I felt it was a little bit Keystone Cops at times when they were getting caught off. It wasn't a great performance at the back, particularly from Suter, I thought.
No, I think when you revert back to earlier in the season, when the amount of criticism that Manny Fernandez took, £3.5 million, it was money wasted initially. But you see now when he's not in the team, that solidity, that sort of foundation that we've got. He was a big miss today. I believe he'd picked up a knock, and the manager obviously wanted to manage his minutes accordingly. But him and Nasser Jiga as a pair in the last few games have looked very solid. John Suter hasn't figured much, and when he did come on in the Scottish Cup tie against Celtic, last 50 minutes extra time, just to pick up on your point there, been shaky today, but shaky then as well. So I would like to think, as the next 6 games unfold, injury permitting, it would be Fernandez and Jiga as the central two, because John Suter's looking far too shaky. It looks as if there's a mistake in him in every game.
You mentioned Chamiti. He probably Would that be miss of the season this afternoon?
It's opportunities Mark Day has to take. He's been an enigma all season. Some of his finishing's been excellent, and then you see the other side of him today. Again, very workmanlike, does very well, gets himself into these positions. But when you're faced with the opportunity, 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, probably on 3 occasions this afternoon, he's got to take at least 1 or 2 of those chances. If he does, then all of a sudden 3-1 becomes 4-1 or 5-1, and it's much more comfortable, and we don't then need to rely on that Miovski goal in the last couple of minutes just to seal the deal.
That particular chance that no doubt people get plenty of opportunity to watch on TV and online. Thought it came at the end of a great move. Although he didn't score, he then in the following kind of 5 or 10 minutes, he really showed some excellent skills to regain the ball, to keep it in play, to move it on to other people. I mean, when you talk about enigma, he is it.
He's it. There's no doubt there's a player there, there's ability there. It's just getting that cutting edge, it's just getting that clinical side to his game. I think he's still stuck in 9 goals for the season, and he just needs to get that added layer to his game, which fundamentally you're looking for, irrespective. Again, we've talked about the transfer fee, the outlay for the guy. That has to be part now, and he has to work on his finishing, because the chances he gets today, it doesn't matter whether you're a £1 million centre forward or an £8 million centre forward, you've got to be taking them. And as we move in next weekend, massive game at Falkirk. They've obviously won again today, they've done superbly this season. If we're getting chances like that, not just next weekend but in the 5 games after the split, if we are to get these 6 wins that we need to win the title, he has to be taken.
In terms of, just to finish off, talking about Trinity there, not finishing, but last couple of games, 8 goals, 8 different scorers. Nadiri gets on, should have had probably header 3 minutes in, but gets his first league goal today. So having 8 scorers for the last 8 goals, there's a positivity about that around the team, although you do want to have, that centre forward or the player supporting them, banging in a few more as well.
I think it's huge that we've got that scope within the squad where if the centre forwards aren't scoring, we've got others that can contribute. Obviously Tello Asgard comes in today and scores. Raskin, you mentioned, has grabbed some goals recently as well. But to have that scope within the squad such that if there's some of the players are misfiring, then others are stepping up, you would far rather have that. But fundamentally, you're looking for more from the centre forwards. Nadiri, as I say, I thought for 45 minutes today was excellent until he picks up the injury. But Chermiti's second half, again, there are elements to his game that were absolutely superb. The fundamental thing you're looking for from him is finishing, and it was flawed today, unfortunately. But that doesn't take away from the fact that we've scored 4 goals, and the pressure now moves to Livingston tomorrow, where Hearts go. Tricky pitch, tricky match for them. And obviously Celtic have lost at Dens Park already this season, so we welcome the chase.
Can I just finish off here by summing up kind of Danny Rowe? On Friday, the pre-match press conference, it wasn't just the natural, not giving things away or not wishing to be braggadocious, but he was kind of just saying, just hang on your horses here. We know we're not the finished product. We know where we've been, but we're getting better. And can I refer to, I don't know if you followed it, there was actually a very good but detailed article by Joshua Barry, who was looking Rangers, Celtic and Hearts and their stats. Now I know that can turn a lot of people to sleep, but essentially what he was arguing was, if you look at Rowe and the other 2 teams, Rangers are actually getting better quicker.
Yes.
What is missing is the goals from open play. And are we getting to that point where maybe they're becoming comfortable with one another and starting to, it really looks as though it come to the boil at the right time?
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt, Mark, that if Danny Rowe's in charge at the start of the season, we're not as close in the title race. I think there's probably an argument that as much as the mentality, the minerals have been questioned in this squad before, I think if Danny Rowe been in charge for the first 8 games, we'd probably have picked up sufficient points in those 8 games to be comfortably in front just now. But what he's done and what he continues to do with the squad of players that he's got suggests that when he gets the full pre-season with them, then hit the ground running. Obviously, you mentioned Joshua's article there. We are coming to the boil at exactly the right time. There's 6 games to go. There's been elements over the last few weeks where we've had to win games ugly. I felt, say, 15-20 minutes second half today, some of the attacking play was really, really good, and obviously the thing about playing electric under Danny Rule, I think some of the play was electric today, but we have to maintain that. But a lot of people questioned Danny's inexperience as a manager, but he's shown that he's got the minerals for the title race. He's managed to bring that out in the players, and he made a rather interesting comment in the press conference there that obviously they play the starting 11 against another 11 in training the day before the game, and he said he was in a situation yesterday where he was looking at that game, actually questioning which starting 11 to pick. So he's got options, he's got flexibility in there. If he can keep his key players fit, we're not going to be far away come the 16th of May.
So looking forward to next game against Falkirk.
It's going to be tough, but by the same token, if we want to win the title, we've got to win 6 games. So here's hoping.
Thanks a million.